This is Dan Meyer with the RCR Wireless News. I'm at the CCA show here in Nashville, and I'm joined by Jessica Firestone, who's the CEO of Tempest Telecom. Jessica, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Nice to be here. Nice to see you, Dan.
Great. Yeah. Well, maybe start off with a little overview of the company for those maybe don't know much about you guys.
Okay. So Tempest Telecom is a solutions provider. We work with carriers to save them on both operating costs as well as costs on their new budgets, new builds. And a big part of what we do is looking on the legacy network. Mm-hmm. So if you think of like the 3G, installed base, we look for areas across microwave base stations, power equipment, to look for cost savings as an alternative to the OEM. And so in terms of saving on CapEx, it's a time where carriers are so pressured right now to get their pricing more competitive, and so they have to take costs out of the running of their network. So our job is to sit with them and look in all the areas where we can take over, repair, tax support, services, equipment, even equipment supply, a more affordable cost on that as well. So that's a big part of what we do. And then the other part of what we do is on the new build side, especially on the LTE. We work with, we have a partner, CamW, who is an antenna provider, and they have a very short lead times, good pricing, just a high quality product. Again, alternative to the existing sort of bigger names. Another product that we're supplying into the carrier base is an energy efficient air assist air conditioning product. So really energy efficiency, cost savings, maintenance reduction, those are sort of the areas that we're focused. The competitive carrier space is a really important part of our strategy. We've worked with this group of carriers, was RCA, now the CCA group. I've worked with them through two companies now for almost 20 years, and so as part of Tempest for over 10 years. And really, they need that kind of attention because sometimes they don't get that level of attention from the OEMs. And to us, they're a very, very core part of what we do, and we're able to really provide a good value and a good service to them.
Yeah, it sounds interesting that you guys, obviously work on a lot of legacy stuff because a lot of these operators are still running the 3G networks, even 2G networks to an extent, and they're still generating money for these guys, and so they're looking to really extend the life out of those as much as they can. So it sounds like you guys go in there and pretty much allow them to really kind of extend the life of the equipment that's already in there, because again, a lot of the bigger OEMs are kind of have bypassed 3G for the most part. I'm moving on to LTE or whatever it is.
You're even seeing last time buys, discontinued products, a lot on the 3G, and yet we're having conversations with our carriers and they're saying we're going to have this into 2020, and so our job is to help them keep that life going as long as possible, as affordable as possible, with a high quality service. And it's definitely a big need, and you'd be surprised across all the carriers. We are partnering on a lot of the 3G products, and then you go into other areas as well. I mean, there's parts of the network like microwave and power that are expensive as well. So there's, beyond 3G, all the products connected with it. And we're already starting to see LTE repair needs. So that, we've developed some of that product as well, just to sort of be there when the needs arise. Yeah,
I mean, obviously the backhaul and the power and the microwave and things like that. I mean, those are things that have been talked about a lot by these operators too, as being big fiscal challenges for them. So it sounds like being able to go in there with a product that is somewhat more cost efficient for them is probably a big part for those guys.
Absolutely, and we almost become kind of a consultative sale because they kind of review their plans with us, and we can show them the areas where we can save them on the new builds. And it can be power, it can be microwave, it can be all the areas that are sort of ancillary, even on the latest and greatest, that there's a lot of savings to be made, and that's our job, both again on the new builds and on the legacy side, to see where we can help them save money.
Gotcha. Are you hearing a lot? I guess what comments are you hearing from operators at this point when it comes to what they're looking for the 3G needs? Because it does seem like they're not looking to spend a lot of extra money on there, because obviously they do want to focus more looking ahead a bit.
Yes.
But I guess, what are you hearing from them in terms of what they need in terms of 3G equipment? I mean, are they looking to extend base stations, antennas, the actual antennas themselves? I mean, what are you seeing a big call for?
On the 3G, most of it's going to be maybe sparing in capacity growth. Not very, very rare are you seeing much new build. But definitely they need to know that they have a way to maintain those networks long term, and that when they see a last time buy notice, they want to know there's another solution. So that's our job, just to really help them with that long term planning for spares and repair, and much more so than on any of the new build side of things.
Sure. And obviously, like you said too, the LTE stuff is starting to come out more and more now. You mentioned you guys are seeing some more of that as well. Is that becoming a bigger part of your business? Do you expect that to kind of be kind of the future growth for you guys, or do you still expect to be a lot of 3G kind of over the next 5 to 10 years or so?
I think we have to evolve with our customers. So yes, on LTE, starting to be able to not only supply some of the sparing, but more so on the development of the repair, because those warranties are 1 and 2 years. So they're already starting to come off. So we sort of follow the trend of what our customers are putting in and make sure that we're developing the capabilities as their needs are developing. So definitely that's coming now already.
Yeah, I mean, I hear from a lot of the guys, they talk about the fact that they've got these vendors who have supplied them all this equipment, and, they don't want to warranty this stuff for longer terms and things like that, so having someone come in, it seems like a pretty big part of what they need to do going forward, at least to kind of keep their costs down going forward as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everywhere they can save money right now is where we want to be, and we really want to be considered that high-quality, cost-effective alternative to the OEM.
Yep, that sounds good. Well, hey, Jessica, definitely appreciate the insight on that. Thanks so much for the time today. We appreciate it.
Nice to see you, Dan.
All right, you too. Thanks.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks
Bye.
a lot.